Welcome back to my channel Techno Trend Zone, your hub for the latest technology updates, drone news, and in-depth breakdowns of everything happening in the world of consumer tech. Today, we've got breaking news surrounding DJI's upcoming release, the much-anticipated DJI Neo 2 drone. This story is stirring up conversations across the drone community because of what's been spotted in new FCC filings, which point to some bold and somewhat unusual decisions by DJI. If you're into drones, FPV flying, consumer tech leaks, and aerial photography gear, this is something you're definitely going to want to know about. Let's dive into it step by step. DJI Neo 2, what we know. So far, just yesterday, we saw the confirmation that the DJI Neo 2 passed through the FCC database. Alongside it, there's evidence of a new digital transceiver module, which many believe is not just an accessory, but a major upgrade path DJI is preparing for. What's fascinating is how DJI seems to be positioning this module as an optional add-on that could transform the Neo 2 from a Wi-Fi-only drone into one that supports OcuSync transmission technology. For those who might be new to DJI's tech, Wi-Fi-only drones generally have weaker range, laggy video transmission, and are more prone to signal interference. OcuSync, DJI's proprietary transmission system, offers superior range, stability, and responsiveness, which is why most of their higher-end drones rely on it. This difference alone could make or break the DJI Neo 2 depending on how buyers respond. A throwback to the DJI Spark, history repeats? Some of you may remember the DJI Spark, one of DJI's earlier compact consumer drones. While it gained popularity for its portability and ease of use, it had a huge limitation. It was Wi-Fi only. This meant that the range was short, the signal often broke up, and video lag was common. For casual flying, this was acceptable, but for enthusiasts and semi-professional users, it wasn't ideal. Now, here we are in 2025, and DJI looks to be revisiting a similar strategy with the Neo 2. Out of the box, the drone will reportedly function as a Wi-Fi drone only in certain markets, particularly the United States, where strict FCC regulations limit the use of stronger transmission systems like OcuSync. But, instead of abandoning OcuSync altogether, DJI might be cleverly sidestepping these restrictions by offering it as an optional, do-it-yourself upgrade through the transceiver module. Why DJI might be doing this? This approach raises several questions. Why would DJI risk limiting their drone out of the box? The likely explanation is regulatory compliance. The FCC has tight rules around drone transmission systems, especially concerning interference and frequency usage. By selling the Neo 2 in its base form as a Wi-Fi-only drone, DJI can get approval faster and sell to a larger audience. Then, for drone enthusiasts and FPV pilots who want the full OcuSync experience, DJI could sell the transceiver upgrade separately. This two-tiered system could allow DJI to keep prices down for casual users, while still catering to hardcore drone fans willing to invest a little more. It's a business strategy that broadens the target market. Affordable for beginners, customizable for enthusiasts. The Wi-Fi-only DJI Neo 2. Limitations and caveats. While it may sound like a clever idea, there are definitely caveats. The Wi-Fi-only version of the DJI Neo 2 would come with significant drawbacks. Limited range. Wi-Fi transmission drones often struggle beyond a mile, especially with interference or obstacles. Smartphone as controller, the main controller for the eye. Wi-Fi version will most likely be your smartphone, rather than DJI's dedicated remote. Lag and breakup. Wi-Fi has inherent lag, which can ruin the flying experience for those who want smooth FPV. There's also talk that the DJI Motion Controller, or even the DJI Controller 3, might work with the Neo 2. But this depends heavily on DJI enabling compatibility. Since both use GFSK, it's technically possible, but nothing is confirmed yet. The upgrade path, SDR transceiver module. The real game changer is the SDR transceiver module, which appears in the FCC filings. This module could be purchased separately and installed to enable OcuSync transmission on the DJI Neo 2. Once installed, it would unlock longer range, compatibility with DJI goggles for immersive FPV flying. stable, low-latency video feed. The ability to use dedicated DJI remotes like the N3 controller. Essentially, this module transforms the Neo 2 from a casual drone into a serious FPV-ready machine. Is DJI skirting FCC regulations? It's hard not to speculate that this is DJI's way of skirting around FCC restrictions. By shipping the Neo 2 as a compliant Wi-Fi drone, they satisfy regulators. But by selling the transceiver upgrade as an optional accessory, they give users the ability to unlock the true performance of the drone, all while technically staying within the rules. This could set a precedent for future DJI drones in regulated markets. Instead of holding back technology entirely, DJI can sell it as a DIY upgrade path for those who want it. Why this strategy could work for DJI from a business perspective, this move makes sense. DJI is a company that thrives on mass-market sales, but they also have a dedicated niche audience of FPV pilots, filmmakers, and aerial enthusiasts. By separating the product into a base model and an upgraded version, they can keep costs lower for casual drone pilots, increase sales volume by making the entry-level model more affordable, appease enthusiasts with a premium add-on that brings back OcuSync. It's a win-win strategy if consumers are willing to accept the idea of a modular drone experience. The community's reaction. Here's the big question: will drone enthusiasts actually go for it? Many pilots have bad memories of the DJI Spark's Wi-Fi-only limitations, and the drone community has long demanded OcuSync or better transmission systems as a baseline standard. Asking buyers to pay extra for something they consider essential might feel like a step backward. On the flip side, if the DJI Neo 2 is priced competitively, it might not matter. People looking for a casual, fun flying experience may not even notice the difference. Meanwhile, serious pilots will just factor in the cost of the upgrade as part of their investment. What this means for the future of DJI drones. The DJI Neo 2 could represent a turning point in how DJI approaches drone sales. If successful, we might see more drones released in modular formats, where the base model is simplified for compliance and affordability, but upgrade options allow enthusiasts to unlock premium features. This would also give DJI more flexibility in different regions with different regulations. In some countries, the Neo 2 might come pre-equipped with OcuSync, while in others, it would be Wi-Fi only with an upgrade option. Final thoughts on the DJI Neo 2. The DJI Neo 2 is shaping up to be one of the most interesting drone releases of 2025. Between the FCC filings, the rumored upgrade path, and DJI's clever strategy to balance compliance with customer demand, it's clear this drone will spark plenty of debate in the community. The real questions are, will you be satisfied with a Wi-Fi-only DJI drone, or do you believe OcuSync should be standard on every model? Does the upgrade path make sense to you, or does it feel like DJI is cutting corners? Either way, the DJI Neo 2 series is making bold changes that could influence the future of consumer drones. Thank you for tuning in to Techno Trend Zone for the latest DJI Neo 2 leaks, drone news, and FCC updates. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to stay updated with more drone reviews.